Well, no one really had a dry run for the pandemic.
The pandemic was almost devastating to our business.
We were down about 40%.
We were really afraid that our clients and prospects would be out of business.
Keeping people safe, keeping them confident, keeping them productive, absolutely a number one concern.
Although our margins were thinner in 2020, we came through. And the Jobs Ohio Inclusion Grant has been very helpful to help us to think about not only coming through, but thriving.
Yeah, we were very fortunate to get a phone call from REDI Cincinnati and Cincy Tech to make us aware that Jobs Ohio was putting together some much needed financial support.
What it helped us is that it continued to allow us to invest in our employees.
And the combination of the capital and also just the help from the mentorship with REDI Cincinnati here, that's given us a lot of different avenues to kind of continue to build the business.
Payroll protection program did come through and help us maintain our employees and keep them working through the pandemic.
The grant money, the EIDL money, the PPP money allowed us to breathe. We're very grateful and thankful that the funds that were out there will allow us to continue our culture of being family first and taking care of those people that are around us.
I think has been comforting as a business leader. It's also been a way to connect with other business leaders in the region, which has helped to make us all realize, I think, that we're not in this alone.
Hello, and welcome to REDI Cincinnati's 2021 annual meeting. I am Kim Lauterbach, REDI Cincinnati's President and CEO. Joining me today are David Spaulding, Vice President and General Manager of Turner Construction and Chairman of REDI Cincinnati's Executive Committee and Board, George Vincent, Managing Partner and Chairman of Dinsmore and Vice Chairman of REDI's Executive Committee and Board, and JP Nassif, President and Chief Executive Officer of Jobs Ohio, who we'll hear from virtually a bit later in our program. We are honored to be here virtually with you today to celebrate the success and resiliency that we had in 2020, despite the global pandemic, and to look to the path forward in our region and explore what else we can achieve together.
We would like to welcome the members of REDI Cincinnati's Executive Committee and our full Board of Directors. It is also my pleasure to welcome local economic development partners from across the region, our partners from Jobs Ohio, our community leaders and elected officials, representatives from the 2020 project companies, and those of you who were instrumental in development of REDI Cincinnati's Economic Development Strategic Plan that launched last year. Before we jump in, I'd also like to recognize all of our investors that make everything we do possible, with special acknowledgement of our founder-level investors, the City of Cincinnati, Duke Energy, Fifth Third Bank, Hamilton County, Huntington Bank, Jobs Ohio, and Procter & Gamble. We recognize that this past year was especially challenging for some of you, so we'd like to extend our deep and sincere gratitude for your support. Lastly, on behalf of the Executive Committee, I'd also like to extend a special thanks to you, Kim, and your entire REDI team. Over the past year, under your leadership, this team has shown tremendous strength and perseverance, overcoming many obstacles, all the while, day in and day out, demonstrating your commitment to growing our region.
Thank you, David. Our team appreciates the guidance and support from you and our Executive Committee, as well as the support from our investors. We are humbled every day by your vote of confidence in our economic development work to drive growth in the region. And of course, we can't talk about this past year without acknowledging the challenges that we all faced due to COVID-19. It was this time last year we made a team decision to cancel our annual meeting in order to protect the safety of you and our employees. And while the pandemic threw us a bit for a loop, we did not hit pause on our responsibility as your regional economic development team. We kept pace with the changes we saw and continue to see today in business. In fact, we reaffirmed not only our commitment to growing the 3-state, 16-county region, we also reaffirmed the resilience of the region, which has proven itself throughout the pandemic. Just last month, the Wall Street Journal recognized the Cincinnati region as one of the most resilient job markets in the country, thanks to factors like our diverse economy. Of course, we already knew just how resilient and diverse the region's economy is, but it is great to see those strengths recognized across the country. 1 year later, even virtually, I can feel the optimism and confidence from our team and our partners. We see that this region is positioned to both overcome and leverage the disruptions of the pandemic brought into our lives and our communities. We will come out stronger than ever on the other side. For that reason, the theme that we decided on for this year's annual meeting is #ReadyPathForward. We would love for you to help us continue the celebration on social media today by tagging us using the hashtag with your encouraging thoughts on our region's path forward. We have included the hashtag at the bottom of each slide of this event as a reminder. Our efforts were recently acknowledged by Site Selector magazine in their annual Governor's Cup rankings. The publication named the Cincinnati MSA number 9 for metros with populations over 1 million, and 7th on a per capita basis. And our MSA, which has appeared on the top 10 list for 18 consecutive years, is not only the top region among Ohio's 6 network partners, but also the only region that made the list. From a state perspective, Ohio ranked number 1 overall and maintained its number 2 position for total projects per capita, followed by Indiana and Kentucky at number 6 and 7, respectively. All these rankings are based on hard data from several different sources to evaluate each metro and state on an objective basis. Needless to say, the Cincinnati region was well represented in this year's governor rankings. Despite the challenges of a global pandemic, we still delivered strong results in 2020. Let's take a look at those results now. The end of 2020 marked 7 years since REDI Cincinnati was established with the help of the business community. Note that only Southwest Ohio is listed here because at REDI's inception, we were not tracking the regional numbers as we have over the past 2 years, with Northern Kentucky and Southeast Indiana included. Our work last year capped off a 7-year total of 317 project wins in Southwest Ohio. These 317 projects created more than 31,000 jobs and generated nearly $4 billion in capital investment. The average salary for those jobs was $54,000, far above the median wage for the region. And in the last 7 years, we have held almost 1,500 business retention and expansion visits with our companies and our partners across Southwest Ohio to offer business solutions. You likely know by now that we rolled out our 5-year strategic plan in January of 2020, just in time for a pandemic to hit. I can honestly say that nothing tests a new strategic plan quite like a global pandemic. I can laugh about it now, but at the time, it was fairly overwhelming. But rather than sitting back and waiting to see what the pandemic would bring, we maintained our momentum and charged ahead. And we ultimately realized that our path forward was not all that different from the pandemic. You might say we had a ready path forward. The REDI team remained flexible and strong to bring the first year of our strategy to life. And now as we enter year 2, our 5-year initiatives remain unchanged. We are moving full steam ahead with the creation of centers of excellence that focus on our biohealth industry, logistics, technology, and innovation, which we call the Great Supply Way. And the Cincinnati Innovation District continues to be a key asset in marketing of our region. The Red Zone, a joint incentive district that would span across the river, includes parts of the regions in Ohio and Kentucky, is something we continue to have conversations about. It is not a core focus of our work at this time. We continue to have conversations with CVG about the Aerotropolis and how we can better align our work to their New Heights 5-year strategic plan. And finally, one thing we've discussed is the creation of a site revolving loan fund. However, given the financial challenges of COVID, this initiative is currently on hold. Our team has been meeting throughout the first quarter of the year to plan the implementation of the strategy that will take place in 2021. That work will continue to move the region forward for near-term recovery and long-term growth. We started 2020 with a focus on powering forward through partnership, and thankfully we have many strong partnerships in place that have powered us forward as we quickly adapted to the pandemic. We had to stay flexible, and given the scope of services we were providing last year, we changed the way we measured success beyond just job creation. Some of the ways we adapted included continually adding to our website so it could serve as a hub for businesses to access resources they needed during the pandemic. We all know just how confusing it could be, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, for companies to understand where they needed to go or who they needed to contact. As part of the region's response to the pandemic, the Chamber and the business leaders came together with government and community leaders to form the Restart Committee to help guide the region's response to the crisis. The Restart Committee included an Economic Development Subcommittee, which I had the honor of co-leading with Brian Hodgett of P&G, Candace McGraw of CVG, and Tom Williams of North American Properties. And within the subcommittee, we have 3 separate work streams being continued in 2021. We are fortunate to have Mike Venerable of Cincy Tech leading biohealth, Pete Blackshaw of Centrifuge leading the Great Supply Way, and Chad Summey leading the Capital Continuum work. The REDI team made more than 3,000 calls and emails to businesses in the Cincinnati region as part of our outreach efforts, again, serving as a guide to resources. We also partnered with Jobs Ohio, the Urban League, and local organizations to distribute more than 2,000 PPE toolkits to local businesses when they needed it most. And that brings us to our 2020 metrics, the numbers behind our work that show REDI and our economic development partners' impact on this region's growth. The numbers in front of you are a testament to the resiliency, flexibility, and strength of our regional and local partners, including Northern Kentucky Triad and One Dearborn. Collectively, the region closed 82 projects. That means 82 companies received support for growth during the pandemic. The number of projects in 2020 represents 126% of our goal for the year and 57% above 2019's number of 52 projects. Companies in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana are all represented in these numbers. I'd like to point out that both Northern Kentucky Triad and the REDI team exceeded our capital investment goals, which is an incredible feat for the region given the pandemic. Our Southwest Ohio only metrics tell a similar story. If you have seen these numbers before the fourth quarter, it would have looked much bleaker. But our team had a historically strong fourth quarter that resulted in 32 project wins, making up more than 60% of our total wins for the year. 2020 concluded with 2,400 new jobs created in Southwest Ohio, and half of those came in the month of December. We have no doubt that the flexibility offered by Jobs Ohio and their programs and strategy greatly contributed to the success we found last year. A few other highlights and wins from last year. The team secured 417 business retention and expansion meetings and more than 140 referrals, collaborating and convening with regional partners to provide creative business solutions. We also responded to 60 site searches, submitting 260 sites on behalf of the region. Consultants and companies increased their request for site location support to close the year. Our data supports this as we saw a 47% uptick in site searches from the third to fourth quarter, which will keep us on a ready path forward in 2021 and beyond. And speaking of sites, in 2020, Jobs Ohio launched several programs that offered flexibility beyond their traditional ones, one of which is the Ohio Site Inventory Program, otherwise known as OSIP. OSIP is a 5-year competitive statewide program scheduled to run through June of 2025. Jobs Ohio is offering $36 million annually in grants and low-interest loans to support speculative site and building development projects with no identified end user. The primary goal of OSIP is to fill gaps in Ohio's real estate inventory, to mitigate developer risks preventing development, and to accelerate the process of bringing in-demand projects and sites online. In 2020, REDI Cincinnati had 6 competitive projects within our pipeline, and we've successfully locked in 2. The second program provided to us in 2020 was the Jobs Ohio Inclusion Grant. This program provides financial support for eligible projects in designated distressed communities or for businesses owned by underrepresented populations across the state. The data you see here helped diversify our 2020 wins as it pertains to ownership, to size, and to industry. In 2020, REDI partnered with Jobs Ohio to secure 25 inclusion grant offers. This helped us secure and offer just north of $1.1 million in total grant funds. Together, these companies have committed to creating up to $4.2 million in new payroll over the next 3 years. This will be 90 new jobs and 317 retained jobs for our region. REDI also made offers to 18 minority-owned businesses in 2020. We ranked number 1 in total offers and funds to minority-owned businesses among our Jobs Ohio network partners. You'll be hearing more about this program throughout 2021 and the region's inclusion grant recipients, some of whom we'll be highlighting here today. One final Jobs Ohio program I'd like to touch on is Talent Acquisition Services. This program's objective is to identify a company's talent challenges and work with Jobs Ohio, the company, and our Southwest Ohio partners to build a fully customized, sustainable talent strategy. We know that talent is key to our region's success, and through our work with Jobs Ohio, REDI actively serviced 5 talent projects in 2020 and added 7 new projects. Aside from project-specific work, talent advising was provided to 29 companies in 2020 through business retention and expansion follow-ups. Advising consists of consulting with regional companies on their talent challenges, providing best practice recommendations, and facilitating connections to relevant resource partners. While I know I've shared quite a bit on the 2020 economic development programs offered specifically to Southwest Ohio business, it's important to note that Jobs Ohio and Governor DeWine's administration offered significant support for businesses across the entire state of Ohio. But let's shift gears back to our region. I'd like to highlight another major 2020 success. Our marketing team increased their efforts to drive activity at the top of our sales funnel, all of which supported our business development team's laser-focused attraction and expansion strategy. These results prove that the two teams were aligned and highly collaborative last year, developing a new website, creating and delivering targeted digital advertising and email campaigns, and driving and following up on new leads. Throughout the year, we sent more than 12,000 emails through 36 targeted email campaigns. And in the fourth quarter, we launched a digital advertising campaign that led to more than 52,000 visits to our new website, an increase of almost 585%, and grew our social media audience by more than 1,100 followers with over 24,000 engagements across our social media platforms. We saw a 70% increase in leads receiving an offer, which really speaks to the quality of our business intelligence efforts. And we completed 142 research requests. The marketing and business development team's collective work in 2020 generated excellent opportunities, and we look forward to continuing the momentum on the REDI path forward. The region is lucky to have incredible brands and organizations located here. This slide shows some of these companies that we had the opportunity to support in partnership with our state, regional, and local partners. Each state within our region has representation here, and you will see a diverse set of companies, diverse in ownership, in size, and in industry. As I shared with you earlier, REDI leveraged the Jobs Ohio Inclusion Grant for 16 companies, which are also represented here. We look forward to seeing the growth in these companies this year and next. For those of you who know Brandon Simmons, REDI's Vice President of Project Management, you probably also know that he played college football at Bucknell. And on occasion, Brandon slips into his former team captain role, hyping up our team. He's always looking for the win and to ring the bell. Recently, Brandon shared with me that when it used to rain on his college game day, his football coach would tell them, "I don't want to hear excuses. The playing field is neutral. Everyone out there is facing the same crappy playing conditions. Now let's go make a play." I wholeheartedly agree with this coach. I think it's fitting to say that this was true of 2020. And I'm proud to say, just as I have showed you, that our region stayed strong and resilient, making several big plays throughout the year, despite the sometimes difficult or crappy conditions that the pandemic threw our way.
Resiliency became kind of the shiny new word that everybody's throwing around. How are you going to, pull yourself up by the bootstraps and move forward?
It's really out of necessity caused everyone to appreciate and learn a little bit more resiliency. Every day something new is coming at us, it seems. So working through it, working around it, resiliency, I think, has saved a lot of businesses and even allowed some to grow even larger than they were pre-pandemic.
It is a way of life. It's a way of doing business. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of feeling. It's a way of relating to other people. It's a way of offering grace. So when we think about resilience, it really penetrates through everything we do.
Being a startup, resiliency is our middle name. It's all about constancy of purpose and focus and having a relentless drive to support your mission.
Whenever we encounter an issue, whether it's the pandemic or something else related to just running a business, it's the ability to stay focused and have resiliency to keep your eye on the goal.
There's only so much as a business owner and leader that you can do if your staff isn't resilient alongside you. But their resiliency over the course of the last year has been remarkable, and it has made me really proud to be a business owner and to be able to lead that particular group of people.
You can accomplish more together than you can individually. You have a tendency to forget that in the day-to-day, but when things become critical, there is a community out there to help.
I think a year or two ago, we would have said we're resilient and we had a bunch of those characteristics, but the last 12 months, it's just shown me that anything's possible. It's amazing what people in our country can do when they come together and they have a common goal. It's the most amazing thing I've seen in business in my life.
To close out the results segment of our meeting, I'd like to share with you the 2020 key metric rankings as compared with our peer Jobs Ohio network partners. Despite the pandemic, we were pleased to be ranked second in total project wins, third in total job creation, and third in total capital investment. So what does this mean in terms of our entire 16-county region? Well, if the entire region were being ranked, we would maintain our rankings for projects and investment, but we would climb to second for total jobs created. I'd say that was a pretty good year. And now we'd like to recognize REDI Cincinnati's outgoing executive committee members, all of whom have generously given their time and resources in support of REDI Cincinnati's regional mission. I'd like to ask David to present the awards.
Thanks, Kim. As a small symbol of our gratitude for their service, our outgoing executive committee members are receiving this commemorative gift. These members have given generously of their time and talents to REDI, and while we wish we could personally hand you these gifts, we're stuck in this virtual environment for just a bit longer. First up is David Adams. David joined the committee in 2019, and while he's departing as a committee member, we'll be seeing him frequently this year as we work to attract companies to the Cincinnati Innovation District. Next is Molly North. Molly served with us in 2020 as our Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber representative. Thank you, Molly. And last but certainly not least is Abo Vroom. Abo joined the committee in 2019. Thank you, Abo. Please join me in thanking David, Molly, and Abo for their diligent work in supporting economic progress in our region. Outgoing members, I know you're watching. Please know that we'll be sending you this award soon as a token of our deep appreciation for your service. And now I'll turn it back over to Kim as we begin the Growth Awards.
Thank you, David. This is really my favorite part of our annual meeting. This afternoon, I'm pleased to recognize the finalists and winners of this year's James A. Wunker Growth Awards. Jim's contributions during the 80s and 90s continue to positively impact our business community today. In years past, both Jim and his son Jeff have joined us for our annual meeting, and since that's not possible this year, it's my hope that they're here with us virtually to hear our tribute. Jim has played a critical role in winning projects empowering our region's growth and sustainability. Most notably, he was instrumental in projects like Fidelity's investments in Covington, Harris Corporation in Warren County, Miller Brewing in Butler County, and Henkel Corporation's U.S. headquarters in Cincinnati. Jim, if you're listening, I want you to know how much you've inspired me and other economic development leaders to change and grow the communities in which we live and work. Thank you for all that you've done to power our region forward with strength and resiliency. For those of you who haven't joined a REDI annual meeting before, the James A. Wunker Growth Awards recognize the most impactful projects announced in the previous year. These projects may entail large numbers of new jobs or capital investment, but their full measure is determined by their impact on the local community where they take place. It's truly an honor to acknowledge all our finalists and to present this award to 4 companies that are powering this region's economy.
Each year, we receive nominations from local economic development professionals from across the 16-county region. To judge the submissions, a selection committee made up of local economic developers and business leaders met to do the difficult task of narrowing 14 submissions down to just 4. I believe many of our awards committee members are joining us virtually, and I want to give them my sincere thanks for their work in reviewing and selecting our worthy award recipients. We'd also like to thank Andrea Enders, REDI Cincinnati's Business Development Director, and Jake Hessling, REDI's Strategic Communications Manager, for the work in putting everything together for the 2020 Growth Awards. They both had big shoes to fill with Tim Bachman retiring last May, and we're pleased to say that they both did an exceptional job. These are the project finalists for the 2020 Growth Awards. I hope you've been seeing them featured on our social media channels over the past couple of weeks. Again, we'd like to thank everyone who submitted projects for consideration. These decisions are never easy because there are always so many deserving projects, and that's a great problem to have. Now I'd like to present our first Growth Award winner. This winner was nominated by the City of Covington. They are a company that truly founded opportunity through adversity. Their quick thinking and action led to exponential growth and national news stories featuring their success. Please join me in congratulating Gravity Diagnostics. In the early days of the pandemic, Gravity Diagnostics leadership team began discussing the possibility of developing a method of testing for COVID-19, which immediately became the focus of their attention. Almost overnight, Gravity Diagnostics went from a small, quiet lab in Covington to being a national player in the fight against COVID. The company substantially grew its testing capability from 20 samples a day in March to 21,000 samples a day in November. The 8 months in between involved a 10-fold increase to its team from 35 to 400 workers and a physical growth that meant expanding its space from 4,000 to 50,000 square feet with a $3.7 million investment. Gravity Diagnostics' agility and efforts have paid off with an increase in revenue from $5 million in 2019 to $87 million in revenue as of October 2020. Since the beginning of its efforts, Gravity has processed more than 2.2 million COVID-19 tests. The quick thinking and inventiveness of the Gravity Diagnostics team has resulted in several national headlines and an incredible economic impact on the City of Covington and the Cincinnati regions. Congratulations again to Gravity Diagnostics for being a James A. Wonker Growth Award winner.
Thank you so much for this award. On behalf of Gravity Diagnostics, I want to thank the community for recognizing us during the pandemic. These awards, and especially this one, mean the most to us because of the hard work our employees have done over the last 12 months. It means a lot to be recognized when really what the company has done and all of our people have done during the pandemic is put others before themselves. And so last March 16th, we ran 6 COVID-19 samples. And since then, we've done as many as 27,000 samples in one day. We're open 7 days a week. We've hired over 400 people. Our revenue has gone from under 10 million to over 130 million. And all of that is really where the Gravity way, which starts with putting others first. And so when the pandemic first started, we really focused on the ICUs and the nursing homes and the people that needed really fast turnaround time most. And we had no idea that we'd have this explosive growth from a business perspective. So it just shows when you pay it forward and do right by your neighbors and others, anything's possible. And I think this award symbolizes that approach. And I really feel that the Kentucky, Ohio area has a great synergistic approach where we all come together in times of need and work together to find a solution. So thank you so much for recognizing Gravity Diagnostics. We really, really appreciate it. And most importantly, thank you to all the employees that continue to put others before themselves.
Our second Growth Award winner project was nominated by both the Port and the City of Cincinnati. Both companies receiving this award have a long history in the region. This winner's growth was unique because it actually resulted in the growth and expansion of 2 companies and a unique collaboration of local partners. Please join me in congratulating Cow USA and the William Powell Company. Having experienced remarkable success, Cow USA Inc. looked to reshore various product lines and expand manufacturing operations in the manufacturing corridor along Spring Grove Avenue. However, it was landlocked by industrial valve maker, the William Powell Company, situated in a neighboring property. Interested in continuing to grow in the Cincinnati region, Cow USA partnered with the William Powell Company alongside the Port of Greater Cincinnati Development Authority, the City of Cincinnati, Hamilton County, Jobs Ohio, and of course, REDI Cincinnati. The Port assisted Powell Valves with the space for a new headquarters on Spring Grove Avenue on a 4-acre site formerly remediated by the Port in 2011. The Port also acquired and is preparing the 3.3-acre Powell Valve site for Cow's expansion. A truly collaborative effort, the Port, Jobs Ohio, REDI Cincinnati, the City of Cincinnati, and Hamilton County have all worked closely with leadership from both companies to create a customized roadmap and provide financing to meet their needs. The project will result in a combined 525 jobs retained in Cincinnati, with an annual payroll of $51 million, 45 new jobs created, and $39 million of capital investment. Congratulations again to Cow USA and the William Powell Company on your success and for being named a James A. Wonker Growth Award winner.
Hello, my name is Mike Cochran, and I am the Corporate Facilities Manager for the Americas region of Cal USA. On behalf of Cal USA, I am excited to accept this award from REDI Cincinnati. This project is a significant win for Cal USA and the City of Cincinnati in retaining its influential position in consumer products and further continuing the economic growth. I want to thank Jobs Ohio, REDI Cincinnati, the Port of Greater Cincinnati Development Authority, the City of Cincinnati, and the William Powell Valves Company to make this project come alive. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Brandon Cowart, Executive Vice President of the William Powell Company. On behalf of our company and our employees, we are thankful and honored to have been nominated for this award. The William Powell Company was established in Cincinnati in 1846. This year, we're celebrating our 175th year. We're happy to continue our presence and growth in the Cincinnati market with the support of our local community, our employees, and our valued customers. This project would not have been possible without the efforts of Cal, Jobs Ohio, REDI Cincinnati, the Port, the City of Cincinnati, and Hamilton County. It was truly a team effort, and we are thankful. Thank you.
Now on to our next Growth Award winner. Claremont County submitted the nomination of our third winner, which represents one of the largest capital investment projects REDI Cincinnati has ever seen in the Cincinnati region. This company conducted a national site search before choosing Williamsburg Township in Claremont County for their historic investment. Please join me in congratulating Nestle Purina. In 2019, Nestle Purina Pet Care identified an opportunity to grow beyond its 21 manufacturing facilities across the U.S. and began searching for a site to build what would become its first production facility from the ground up since the 1970s. The company sought a large site where it could quickly begin construction in a region with a fruitful talent pool. After considering several other locations, the pet food maker chose the South Afton Industrial Park in Claremont County to build a 1.2 million square foot facility and create 300 new jobs. Here, the company will make its popular and trusted high-quality pet food brands. The site, which was shovel-ready and authenticated by the Site Ohio Readiness Program, dates back to 2016 when Claremont County began assembling the land and preparing it for development. The final outcome was the result of a partnership between Claremont County, REDI Cincinnati, Jobs Ohio, and Duke Energy, all of whom came together to make it the perfect site for the company's latest investment. Nestle Purina's new facility is expected to bring $550 million of investment to the 200-acre site in Williamsburg Township. And again, this project was the largest within the Midwest for the year. Congratulations again to Nestle Purina for being named a James A. Wunker Growth Award winner.
Hello, I'm Nolan Terry, Vice President and Director of Manufacturing for Nestle Purina Pet Care. This is an incredible honor, and on behalf of the people and pets at Purina, I'd like to say thank you to REDI Cincinnati and our partners in Claremont County who nominated us for this award. We're so happy to be expanding our operations into Claremont County so we can continue enriching the lives of pets and the people who love them through our nutritious dog and cat food brands while growing the economy and investing in our local community. We're grateful for all of the support we've received from the township, the state, the county, the region. Thank you all for helping bring this project to fruition.
Now I'd like to present our final Growth Award winner, which was nominated by the City of Hamilton. This company sought to make its first entrance into the North American market and began looking for a suitable location. As they closed out their search, they came across the Hamilton Enterprise Park and saw that it was the perfect site for their next investment. It's my pleasure to announce Sika Group as our final Growth Award winner. Sika Group, one of the largest and most advanced European companies in recycled paper for corrugated packaging, is establishing its first North American facility in Hamilton, Ohio. Headquartered in Spain and with more than 10,000 employees across Europe, Sika Group is a world leader in the manufacture of high-quality, efficient, and environmentally responsible packaging materials. Hamilton Enterprise Park stood out as a prime location thanks to it being shovel-ready and readily accessibility to the rest of the Midwest. The project fits into SICA's overall strategy of sustainable growth as it enters new markets. The company began building a state-of-the-art factory in September 2020, and it expects to invest nearly $72 million once construction of the corrugated plant is complete. SICA's investment will result in a 350,000 square foot facility that will house 64 new employees and is scheduled to open this October. Congratulations again to the SICA Group for receiving the James A. Wonker Growth Award. And congratulations to all of our 2020 Growth Award winners and their community partners.
Hello, I am Ramon Alejandro, Chairman of SICA Group. And on behalf of SICA 10,000 employees, I am honored to accept this award from REDI Cincinnati. We are happy to contribute to the success of this region and believe the quality of talent in here will help us as we build a strong presence in the United States. I'd like to thank several organizations who have helped make our entry into the United States possible, starting with REDI Cincinnati, along with Jobs Ohio and the City of Hamilton. I am proud of the team who have kept this project moving forward. Again, thank you for this honor. I look forward to the day I can meet you all in person.
It's important to honor the companies that make a significant difference in the region every year, but we also want to honor the people who are committed to getting the win. Someone like the late Bill Robinson, one of REDI Cincinnati's founders. Each year, I have the distinct honor and privilege of presenting the William T. Bill Robinson III Upward and Onward Award to someone who has made a lasting impact on the Cincinnati region. While Bill passed away in 2017, his dedication to creating economic prosperity in the region lives on in countless ways. Just as Bill did each day of his life, the recipient of this award embodies qualities that help move the region forward. Regionalism, which is the backbone of REDI Cincinnati's mission, advocacy as a committed member of a dynamic and close-knit community, passion for this vibrant region we call home, and optimism for our path forward. As David and I talked about what this award means, who best embodies Bill's values and is making a lasting impact on the region, we arrived at the same answer. And now I am deeply honored to announce that this year's recipient of the William T. Bill Robinson III Upward and Onward Award is David J. Adams. David is the Chief Innovation Officer for the University of Cincinnati and responsible for leading our region's efforts for the Cincinnati Innovation District. Since 2017, David has been growing an integral part of the region's progress through his work at the university and has been generous in sharing his time, talent, and knowledge with other organizations, including REDI Cincinnati. It was not too long ago that the Innovation District seemed like only an idea, but thanks to partners like David, it has become a reality. I've had the pleasure of working alongside David for these past few years, and I hope to do so for many more to come. David graciously agreed to accept this award virtually. David?
Thank you, and thanks to the entire REDI team for your collective efforts to strengthen our region. I want to thank you for being this year's recipient on behalf of my team, University of Cincinnati, and our community. This is clearly a collective effort, and it's a team sport. And as I say, stay tuned, we're just getting started. Unfortunately, I never had an opportunity to meet Bill, but I did my research and learned that he was an individual that catalyzed change, was highly collaborative, and he always brought an optimistic, can-do attitude. It's an honor to be recognized with an award that bears his name. I think he summarized well the best measure of one's success wrapped into one simple question. How do we make a positive difference in the lives of those we have had the privilege to serve? Well said, Bill. Thank you.
As we begin to reach the end of our annual meeting, I would be remiss if I didn't give a special mention to our friends at Jobs Ohio, who are celebrating their 10-year anniversary. In 2011, Ohio leaders recognized the need for an organization that could move at the speed of business to meet the needs of growing companies and created Jobs Ohio. When REDI Cincinnati was founded in 2014, Jobs Ohio was right at our side, committing themselves as a partner in driving growth in the Cincinnati region. Without Jobs Ohio's support, I can say that the extent of REDI's success would not have been possible. As a token of our appreciation and to commemorate Jobs Ohio's 10-year anniversary and our partnership, I'd like to present this small gift to JP Nassif, Jobs Ohio's president and CEO. I have asked JP to share a few words with us for this occasion. JP, take it away.
Thank you, Kim. I appreciate the kind gesture in recognizing Jobs Ohio's 10th anniversary. We're proud to call you and the team at REDI Cincinnati our partner. It's an honor to be here today, albeit virtually, to share in the region's success and celebrate 2020 while charting a course forward. As our regional partner, REDI Cincinnati plays an essential role in moving Ohio's economic development efforts forward and ensure future opportunities to bring jobs and investment to the region. I'd like to offer my congratulations to the 14 Growth Award finalists and the 4 award winners: Gravity Diagnostics, Cal USA, the Williams Powell Company, Nestle Purina Pet Care, and Syca Group. I had the opportunity to attend the Syca groundbreaking virtually. While many would rather forget 2020, we saw great collaboration to ensure that the Cincinnati region has a path forward, which is your theme today. I'm encouraged about how together, REDI and all of you here today responded, and I'm optimistic about the path we're on together. In the days before we entered the COVID economy, together we announced our first innovation district, the Cincinnati Innovation District. I want to thank David Adams, Dr. Neville Pinto, and Michael Fisher for their collaboration to make our first innovation district a reality. Additionally, David, I'd like to congratulate you for being recognized as REDI Cincinnati's 2020 Upward and Onward Award recipient. Who knew the significant impact the pandemic would bring to our economy? REDI Cincinnati was a critical partner as Jobs Ohio quickly pivoted our strategy by making available up to $250 million to fund 10 new economic development programs and up to an additional $250 million for procurement of over 50 million units of life-saving PPE. And we partnered together, including the Urban League, to distribute PPE toolkits to businesses in need of PPE to keep their operations going at a time when PPE was in high demand. Additionally, in an effort to help small businesses here that were hit the hardest during this time, Jobs Ohio announced the Jobs Ohio Inclusion Grant. Small and medium-sized businesses in the Cincinnati region embraced the Inclusion Grant in 2020. And our board at Jobs Ohio recently reapproved $8 million in funding to support even more of these important business support tools. Inclusion grants provide financial support for eligible projects in designated distressed communities, as well as for businesses owned by underrepresented population groups across the state. These tools are critical in our efforts to retain and grow opportunities here in Southwest Ohio. This lending support was put in place to help small businesses during the outbreak and create sustainable growth for the region beyond the crisis. Through the toughest times, we worked together to present solutions for our businesses. As we look at overall performance in 2020, the Cincinnati region produced amazing results, especially in a year where approximately 3 to 6 months of activity was lost because of the pandemic. Southwest Ohio created over 2,400 new jobs and over $120 million in new payroll. And you blew your capital investment goal out of the water with $1 billion in new CapEx. That is just terrific. Congratulations, Kim, David, and the entire REDI Cincinnati team, and to all the local economic development partners, community partners, elected officials for helping make success happen and your collective efforts to help grow the region. And to REDI Cincinnati investors, please accept my gratitude for your commitment to helping grow the region's economy. This could not be done without your important support. So thank you very much. We believe that Ohio is in the best place in the nation to live, work, and fulfill your own American dream. And Ohio is showing the country how we have mobilized and worked together during a time of crisis. It is critical that the Cincinnati region will be central in helping lead the state to a full recovery, and our plan is in place to do just that. Together, we have a path forward, and I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
There's no way to navigate through the last 12 months without adapting. And so I think that's all part of this evolution that we have in how we innovate, how we work together. And I think that will be some of the good things, the positives that we take away from this period of time.
The economic development partners with Jobs Ohio and throughout the region have been excellent and are really mindful of what we need to move forward, and not just as businesses, but as communities.
And I look forward to these different economic development teams continuing to push the boundaries in what we do, and I'm looking forward to continuing to see that, and we'll see more and more people not only create companies in this region, but come back to this region to work day in and day out.
To know that the support system, those that advocate for small women, minority-owned businesses in general, they care about business, they care about the economy, they care about their people, and Cincinnati is an awesome place to start a business, maintain a business, grow a business, and to live and raise your children and families, and just everyone should be happy if they're in Cincinnati.
I truly feel that this region was built for this in terms of synergy and making the most of our capacity to help others. So, it's been amazing.
We were very fortunate to get a lot of support from Cincinnati REDI as well as from Jobs Ohio that helped us through the pandemic period, and we're very thankful for that, and it has really helped continue to support our growth.
Thank you to the local economic development committees. We worked closely with Triad and a number of others. Been very supportive, we collaborate, we're all in this together.
We would not have been as successful as a business if we didn't have those partnerships and the assistance that they've given us in getting funding, grants, tax credits, all of the important things that help small businesses compete with larger businesses, both in the region and nationally. So we're just very grateful for that.
I cannot thank you enough for the introductions that you've made and continue to make.
I think the pandemic really shows you why these people are amazing. It's really about these moments, right? When something happens, it's an emergency, everyone's connected, it's synergistic, everyone came together in an amazing way. And so to me, I truly feel without those groups, we would have not been able to make the impact we made.
This afternoon, we have been pleased to share with you the many partners and leaders who continue to provide a path forward for our region's economic growth and vitality. David, George, and I would like to extend our sincere thanks once again to everyone for joining us virtually in celebration of the region's many accomplishments, and for your support of REDI's mission and strategic vision. Before we close, I'd like to turn it over to George to share a few thoughts with us.
Thanks, Kim. Let's give a hand to Kim and her team for bringing us together tonight to celebrate our region's successes in 2020. Many of you who joined us today are some of REDI's first investors, while others of you may have joined us for the first time. You are all equally important contributors to our economic success. For our community guests, thank you for your hard work on behalf of your communities and your stakeholders, for your support of REDI, and for your contributions and amplification of our region's successes. Today, the call to action to be resilient, stay strong, remain competitive, and invest in our region's economic development activities is paramount with our recovery efforts. The level of engagement and collaboration across our region is what sets us apart, and it creates the path forward for our recovery and continued growth. I'm personally committed to doing all I can as a business leader to drive powerful outcomes. I hope that you'll join me, Kim, and her team by rolling up your sleeves and doing what you can to support REDI's work as they move forward with year 2 of their strategic plan. With that, I'll turn it back over to Kim and David to close us out.
Thanks, George. Well, this officially concludes the business portion of REDI Cincinnati's 2020 annual meeting. We'd like to ask that you stay on the line for just a moment longer for a virtual toast. Traditionally, we would all gather together to raise a glass to our collaborative success and for what lies ahead. It may feel a bit strange virtually, but for those of you who are watching, you are helping us realize our strategy to create growth and prosperity for our communities. I know you are here and will continue to join us on the path forward towards resiliency and growth. Together we will win, and together we will persevere.
If you'll lift your glasses, I'd like to raise a toast. Here's to our investors, supporters, and friends, the incredible things you make possible.
To Kim Louderback, David Spaulding, and the entire team at REDI Cincinnati, all the local economic development partners, community partners, elected officials, and REDI investors. I celebrate you, and we join you as you chart a path forward. Cheers.
And here's to a year full of opportunity, innovation, and growth. Our past is proud, and while 2020 was filled with both success and heartache, our future holds oh so much more. There is much to do, and we will move forward because we are resilient, we are flexible, and we are strong. Cheers.
Cheers.